Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. Just a few things in the greenhouse. I have a few things sitting here by the black soil container to pot up. I think it's bok choy, winter choy, and arugula. Most other things I believe are already potted up or they're too small. So we'll just need to water in here this week. It's supposed to be very hot next week. So if you're planning on coming to the garden, please come early and be safe and drink lots of water. Okay, so that's it for the greenhouse. Outside, we can continue to harvest peppers. I tried to harvest a good amount today, which is Friday. I have lettuce to put in this bed, but it's supposed to be like 100 degrees next week, so I'm debating on whether or not I hold off on planting that and just wait. I could always plant it and put like a little bit of a shade cloth on it, but still TBD on that. The Tokyo Bacana is ready. We can start harvesting some leaves off of this. I did see caterpillars in here this week. I sprayed it all down with BT, so hopefully that took care of it, but I think we're at the stage where we need to keep an eye on any of the brassicas because those are the typical plants that get hit hard by caterpillars. So we will just kind of keep an eye, like if you see things that have holes in it like this, you see through that, yeah. Just start like checking under the leaves to see if you see anything. I just picked off a bunch of caterpillars off of the mustard greens and also sprayed that with BT. So anyways, just keep an eye on that. In here, the okra still needs to be harvested. You kind of have to stand up on the ledge and then pull the plant down to harvest it because it's so tall. And then the okra in the other bed is 20, 19. Also needs to be harvested. Green beans are just starting to come on here in bed 6. You might have to kind of dig underneath the plant to see them. So we'll start harvesting those next week. Also the green beans, we've harvested once off of bed 8, but we'll keep harvesting here. And it looks like there's probably a bean beetle problem already here. But I'm not planning to keep these plants around too long because we'll need to pull them out and put in something for fall. So I'm not gonna worry too much about that. I did harvest the first melon today. It turned yellow, so you can see these are still quite green. It did seem to happen like overnight though. So keep an eye on these. There's 3 here. It turned yellow, like a yellowish, like light yellow color, and you could really smell it. Like the aroma was pretty strong. So keep an eye on those. We'll harvest the habaneros. You can see they turn, there's one I missed. They turn bright orange when they are ready. There is something chewing the raspberry leaves, and so I need to figure out what's going on here. I don't really see anything on it, but it probably needs to be sprayed or something. The Desi squash are still producing. You can see that one's about the size to be ready. I missed that one today. It's about the size of a softball. Cowpeas are ready to be harvested. Even though I harvested it today, it doesn't look like it. But anything that's lumpy like that is good to harvest. This crazy snake gourd plant, which is going like all over the place. There is one over here, if you guys can see that right there, which I took one home a couple weeks ago just to make sure that it like was fine, and it was. It's kind of just like a summer squash. You just have to peel it. So I think we'll harvest any ones that we see that are like 18 inches to 2 feet long. and we'll just label it, I don't know, snake squash or something, snake summer squash. Like there's another one growing. I think they grow pretty fast. I pulled out the tomatillos and the shishito peppers in this bed and planted purple broccoli. So I just want to keep an eye on the leaves and make sure they don't look like they're being eaten by anything. The pumpkins, there I think is one almost ready down here on the ground and a couple more small ones, but we might just pull it out whenever we need this bed. Cucumbers are producing, so you kind of have to like get down into the leaf canopy on the bottom to see a lot of them. So, and the leaves are quite prickly, so just be aware of that. Eggplant, I'm still pulling eggplants off. The mustard, this is what I went through and harvested, and then also sprayed everything down with BT. So we'll just have to keep an eye on these. If you're here, just kind of check the leaves on the underside too and see if you see any caterpillars. Let's see, oh, this bed, I think I have this on my list. Yeah, pull out tomatoes in this bed. It's just, there's not much going on. So I think what we'll do is like pull out the tomatoes, take off anything that's still green, and just like send them up as green tomatoes. You can see there's some bigger ones here, and we can pull those off. And then basically just pull everything out in this bed. And there is still honey nut squash growing. I've been harvesting off of it. I'll probably leave this go for another couple of weeks because there's some larger ones that I'm just kind of waiting to ripen. But again, we'll pull them out whenever we need the bed. These peppers are growing very slowly. I think they're starting to put out a little flower. So maybe we'll get some peppers out of this by the time we need this bed. So pretty much for next week, keep harvesting. Hopefully maybe actually those cherry tomatoes in the back, there might be some more ready. Those have kind of dwindled down recently. So we'll see what happens with those. So next week we'll just focus on continuing to harvest, potting things up for fall, keeping everything well watered because it's just going to be so hot. I do have the irrigation set up to turn on every other day. So hopefully the beds will be covered, but you know, all the pots, all the stand-up beds, all the pots that are sitting out here, we will need to make sure that we are watering those well. I am in town next week during my normal time, except for Friday. I'm going out of town for a funeral. So it's supposed to be, I think the hottest day is next Friday. So if anyone's available to come like early Friday morning and just make sure things are watered, that would be amazing. Let me know if you have that availability. And as always, give me a call or a text if you're here and you have any questions. Thanks guys, bye-bye.